So a few weeks ago, my mom sent me Marco Polo saying that she found the original draft of Pot of Gold, which I made when I was like 12, 13, and everything from like up until beginning of ninth grade, everything that I'd done for Pot of Gold has been missing since my mission, and she finally found it. And so I'm gonna open it and take a video because I want to remember this. It's so cute. We found the pot of gold. The pot of gold binder, and it's backwards because it was gonna be a manga. I was very determined to make it a manga. I know what this is! That's what, okay, so for the longest time, the original draft was in this binder, and I've said this is the oldest surviving drawing, and I was wondering why the drafts weren't in this binder anymore. I forgot that I did this for my independent study project in high school, my junior and senior year, and so all the original drafts and stuff, I put them in here to show like my process. Oh, yes! Oh my gosh! Oh man, these are the first drawings. I remember them so well, and they still exist. I wrote it up there. Very first designs. Mia, Tia, and John are the main characters. There's Mia and Tia again. And there's John and Sir Maxwell, who eventually became Sai. These eventually became Rota and Karen. Rota hasn't been introduced yet. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So Mia didn't have an arm. She was missing an arm because the Harry Potter action figure doll that she was based off of, like one of the arms had come off, and so we said that that she was missing an arm. I had everything just in like red, blue, and black because those were the pens I had. I think later I was like, hey, these are the actual colors that these will be. Oh man. See the curly hair and then Tia's hair. So Mia was like, she was a movie star from the beginning. Now she's a TV star. And like Tia had this hair for the longest time. In fact, I've kind of kept an homage to this. When I draw her as a kid, you can kind of see it in chapter 9, I think. She has kind of this hair. I knew nothing about anime. Like, these were my very first anime manga-ish drawings. And all I had for reference was like a brief moment of a Pokemon episode that I'd seen before we changed the channel. So John was like super based off of what I could remember of Ash Ketchum. Not bad for no reference. Sir Maxwell's based off of this Ken doll. He kind of looks like one of my elementary school crushes. Karen's kind of kept a bit of her design, not gonna lie. Karen and Rota were like Sir Maxwell's hypnotized minions. He was like this megalomaniac billionaire who was trying to steal Mia's money because she was like a rich and famous movie star. He eventually became Sai, and it was spelled a little differently, but he had this big opulent mansion. And I like, oh yes! I spent my entire freshman year trying to design his mansion. I just like love trying to organize where everything was. He doesn't have a mansion anymore, although I guess his house would have been considered a mansion in Victorian times. So it's kind of a Victorian mansion type thing. Oh man, I had so many designs. Oh, there's little Mia and Tia. Aww, Aro and Mia ship art. So here are some really old designs from like when I was 16 or 17 of the characters. There's Mia. I didn't draw that. I think my stepsister drew that. Cool outfit she designed. Ishoni apparently means together in Japanese. I Google translated it. It eventually became Ishmael, but Mia has a different last name. John Osaka. Literally a city in Japan. A little nerdy. Just a little. Hey, he still has the Converse. Oh my gosh, Sai. Sai Higashi. I've kept a homage to that. So Higashi is actually the name of Sai's stepdad, and also the name of the music building at GMU. So it's the Higashi Fine Arts Center. His stepdad is like related to the people who like started the program. So there's Karen. So Okewa was the last name for Aro and Karen. Literally made it up. You know, very happy, bubbly, petite, loves bright colors. A lot of that's been maintained, especially her fashion sense. I chose the last name Ojeda. When I got back from my mission, I was like, I want these characters to be Latino. I have to have an homage to that because I just fallen in love with Latino culture, and I really wanted to represent that in my story. And I had met a family named the Ojedas, and so I chose it because it has the same vowels. Tia's personality has completely changed. Like, she was this happy, bubbly, like, and Tia and John's personalities have like literally swapped. Zarin. Usually never wears chunky clothes or jeans and a t-shirt. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious because that's literally all he wears now. He'll be introduced later, but his last is no longer Niseyamo, it's just Jones. Aro Okewa, which is Aro Ojeda now. Aro is actually like not the best actor in the original draft, but like now he's really good. Rota! I love her. Her design hasn't changed a ton. Although she wears skirts now. I love her fashion. Rin, oh, she's changed the most. You probably don't even know who she is. This is Becca. This is Tia's roommate, and she is completely different. But she and Tia are still best friends. That's John's roommate. He eventually became Caden Wilson, and his personality hasn't changed much. Oh, and this is one of the first pieces of digital art that I ever did. So I drew it traditionally, because I didn't have a tablet at the time. And I did this in Photoshop Elements. I had a lot of fun with like the texturing. Like I just applied all these textures. I actually had that dress in middle school and I loved it. But oh man, the shine and the shapes of the background aren't even rotated. I was just straight up using the ellipse tool. And there was my logo design for the longest time. Okay, I just found this page and I was trying to like figure out what their different skills were. But I just mostly want to show this. Tia! Oh, not Tia. I wonder if I can bring that back in, because that is totally something John would do. Oh man, here I was straight up trying to copy Natsume Ando's style. She's the artist behind Kitchen Princess, which was like my favorite manga at the time, and I was trying to base it so much off of that. More studies. I was taking pictures of Najika Kazami and trying to turn it into Tia. That one was Akane, I can tell. But yeah, so taking pictures of Najika and turning it into Tia, taking pictures of Daichi and possibly Sora and turning them into John, and then pictures of Akane and turning them into Mia. Oh man, so much inspiration from that series. So I did all these practice pages. I'm just finding a bunch in a row, different scenes. Some of them are still canon, some of them aren't. Like Mia, originally she decided to find Tia because she like found her mom's grave and she didn't even know her mom was dead. Which, how? But anyway, I guess that made sense to 13-year-old me. This story used to start with Karen going missing and Aro getting a phone call, and then he gets this other mysterious phone call. Oh my gosh, that was my phone in 8th grade. He got this mysterious phone call offering him money, and he's just like, keep talking. Also, I didn't feel like writing parents, and so all of my characters were orphaned. This was John's tragic backstory at the time. If you haven't tried writing parents, like, do it. Knowing your character's relationship with their parents, it adds so much more understanding to the story and to the character. And like, parents can be so fun to write. Like, oh my gosh, my alarm. It hasn't happened yet, but Aro and Karen's parents are gonna play a decent part in the story, as well as Mia's adopted mom, so we'll get to meet them. Yay! Oh my gosh, this was me planning out the first chapter, and in it, like, Aro and Mia, that's Aro. Can you even... He's, like, playing the villain, and she's, like, a spy, and just, like, trying to get secrets from her, but then, like, he forgets his line, and like, oh my gosh. And then we get Mia's like, I'm a movie star, blah, 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 blah. And then Aro's getting like ratted out for forgetting his line by the director, who was not Sai at the time. It was just some random person. Mia steps in and defends him. It's great. Aww, and cute. I had all these like dorky little funny scenes that I thought were hilarious. Oh my gosh, I named Caden Kale for a while. I didn't know it was an actual thing. I thought I made it up. So when they first meet, the John meeting his roommate for the first time was always like a fun scene. Like, hey, Kohai, don't call me Kohai. I'll stop and you call me Senpai. I'm not calling you Senpai. Kohai it is. Why you? Yeah. But then there's like this random dude standing there. He's like, locks himself in the closet. That was embarrassing. I forgot that in original draft, Mia and Tia and John have been like childhood friends. And so Becca has moved out. Her name was Ren at the time. And Tia's all lonely. But she's like, I should make friends. I'm like, wait, it's John after all these years. So this is in here. This was a fun time. This is my friend Sammy and I, and we would just like write dumb stuff during English class. I forgot about Nannerpuss. So here it is, the Pot of Gold binder that contains both the very first Pot of Gold drawings that I did of Mia, Tia, John, and Sai, as well as the original drafts of the story, drafts 1 and 2, lots of designs, and all this stuff.